Welcome, everyone. Today, we're exploring the top 8 most valuable coins in the market, including the $1 Sacagawea gold coins, the classic 1-cent wheat copper penny, and the timeless 1-dime silver coins. United States of America will focus on rare Sacagawea era coins, especially those found in dirty conditions, with unusual golden tones and unique color shades that have become major players in the coin collecting and investing world. These rare treasures are more than currency. They're pieces of American history, and among the most valuable coins collectors are chasing today. If you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is for you. Let's get started with our first rare coin. Next up, the 2001 Sacagawea $1 coin from the United States of America is one such treasure for those lucky enough to have the right variant. While it may appear at first glance as just another golden-colored dollar, its potential value comes from rare minting quirks, condition, and historical intrigue. This coin, especially in certain rare production runs, has been known to captivate collectors' imaginations and stir up stories of million-dollar fortunes. The twist? Even a piece in dirty or circulated condition could be worth far more than face value if it carries the right traits. The Sacagawea dollar series was introduced in 2000 to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar. Its gold-like appearance was not real gold, but a unique manganese brass alloy that gave it distinctive shine. The 2001 issue was minted in Philadelphia and millions were produced, but among them, certain extraordinary errors slipped through, making some specimens incredibly valuable today. Some feature misalignments, double dies, or planchets intended for other coins, instantly turning an everyday dollar into a collector's dream. Collectors place a special premium on coins with fascinating backstory, and the Sacagawea series is one of the most compelling. The design honors Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark through their legendary expedition. On the obverse, her calm and determined gaze is captured, with her infant son Jean-Baptiste on her back. The reverse features a soaring eagle, symbolizing freedom and exploration. This artistic and historical significance already makes the coin desirable, but add a rare minting anomaly, and its worth skyrockets in the territory that makes headlines. The Philadelphia Mint in 2001 was operating at full steam, producing billions of coins. In such a high-pressure environment, occasional errors were inevitable. Sometimes, blanks meant for state quarters or foreign coins were mistakenly struck with a Sacagawea design. Other times, the dies themselves developed microscopic flaws, producing double letters or distorted details. These mistakes were never intended to reach the public, but a handful escaped into circulation, quietly passing from hand to hand until sharp-eyed collectors recognized their rarity. Now here's where the real magic happens. Some of these error coins have fetched staggering sums at auction. In certain cases, well-preserved Sacagawea dollars with unusual features have commanded prices in the tens of thousands of dollars, and rare crossover or mule errors, where a Sacagawea verse was paired with a state quarter reverse, have sold for well over $100,000. The thought of finding one in a handful of change is what drives many coin hunters to keep searching. Even a coin in dirty or well-worn condition could still hold enormous value if it has the right characteristics. Dirt and tarnish can often be gently removed by professionals, revealing details that prove its rarity. Many people have unknowingly spent coins worth a fortune simply because they assumed a dirty, common-looking dollar couldn't be special. That's why experts stress the importance of examining every detail, mint mark, year, strike quality, and any unusual features, before letting such a coin go. The Sacagawea dollar also holds a special place in U.S. coinage history because of its short-lived widespread use. Though minted in large numbers, the coin never caught on in everyday commerce, meaning many remained in bank storage. This has created a fascinating split. The common issues remain plentiful and cheap, while the rare ones are nearly impossible to find, making them worth an extraordinary premium. The 2001 issue in particular is a sweet spot for collectors. Unlike the inaugural 2000 issue, which was heavily hoarded, the 2001 circulation coins had fewer varieties, but still enough rare anomalies to ignite interest. And because fewer people thought to save them at the time, rare examples are even scarcer today. When one of these special coins hits the auction block, bidding wars erupt, with seasoned collectors and wealthy investors driving the price higher and higher. Think about the journey of a rare 2001 Sacagawea dollar. Struck at the mint in Philadelphia, accidentally produced with a 1 in a million flaw, released into circulation unnoticed, passed through dozens of hands in grocery stores and gas stations, maybe left forgotten in a jar for years, and then discovered by someone who recognizes its true potential. That moment of realization could mean the difference between pocket change and a life-changing windfall. For those lucky enough to possess one, the advice is crystal clear. Don't let it go cheaply. Do your homework, get it authenticated by a reputable grading service, and only then consider parting with it. Selling through a well-known coin auction house can bring in competitive bids that reflect the coin's true rarity and desirability. This is why stories of ordinary people becoming overnight millionaires from a single coin are not just fantasy. They're rare, yes, but they happen, and often people who took the time to look closely at something everyone else overlooked. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar, especially with rare errors, has the power to rewrite your financial story in an instant. So, if you happen to have one of these coins, even a dirty, seemingly unimpressive one, think twice before spending it. You might just be holding the golden ticket to a fortune, a tiny piece of American history that could turn an ordinary day into the one you remember for the rest of your life. Next up, the year 2000 marked a turning point in modern U.S. coinage history with the introduction of the Sacagawea dollar, a golden color coin that captured the imagination of the public and collectors alike. The Denver Mint's version, stamped with the coveted D mint mark, holds an especially intriguing place in numismatic lore. While millions were produced for general circulation, certain rare errors, unique strikes, and untouched examples have pushed their value to levels that make people dream of overnight fortunes. Even in a dirty, time-worn state, the coin's history and mystique can transform it from pocket change into a life-changing treasure for those who truly understand its potential. The coin honors Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who served as a guide and interpreter for the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 1800s. Her role was pivotal in bridging cultures and helping explorers navigate uncharted territories. This portrayal made the 2000 Sacagawea coin not just currency, but tribute to courage, resilience, and the often overlooked contributions of indigenous people in shaping America's past. When collectors hold one in their hand, they aren't just touching metal. They're holding a story that resonates through history. What makes the 2000 especially desirable is the way the Denver Mint struck its coins. Some specimens display ultra-sharp details, flawless golden luster, and in rare cases, minting errors that make them unique. These errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even experimental planchets, can send their value skyrocketing from a single dollar to tens of thousands. In extreme cases, a perfectly preserved, rare error example has fetched figures that make even seasoned collectors shake their heads in disbelief. Even a Sacagawea dollar in dirty condition can hide enormous potential. Dirt and discoloration may mask its brilliance, but careful inspection can reveal telltale signs of rarity. Some collectors actually prefer unclean coins because cleaning can reduce their value. That means what looks like an ordinary, tarnished coin in your change jar could secretly be worth more than a new luxury car, or even a house. Part of the coin's allure is psychological. It's a modern piece, so people assume it can't possibly be worth much. This underestimation leads to countless treasures being overlooked in circulation. It's the perfect scenario for an informed collector to stumble upon a fortune while others walk right past it. Imagine finding such a coin at a yard sale for $1 and later learning it could auction for hundreds of thousands. That's the kind of twist that fuels the overnight billionaire fantasy. The coin's distinctive golden color also plays a role in its collectability. It's not actually made of gold but manganese brass alloy, giving a warm, rich glow that stands out in the hand. Under the right lighting, a high-grade 2000 gleams like a jewel. Even when dulled by age and grime, that golden sheen can be restored in a collector's mind once its true rarity is confirmed. Historically, the Sacagawea dollar faced challenges in circulation. Americans were reluctant to adopt the dollar coin, preferring paper bills. As a result, many coins went straight into storage, preserving them in near-mint condition. This low wear rate means there's a higher chance of finding an exceptional example, and the rarer the condition, the higher the price. For the 2000D, pristine examples can fetch hundreds, while special varieties soar into 5 or 6 figures. Adding to the intrigue is the famous Cheerios dollar connection. In early 2000, a special version of the Sacagawea dollar with enhanced tail feather details was placed in Cheerios cereal boxes as part of promotion. While most were Philadelphia Mint issues, stories persist of Denver Mint examples slipping into circulation. A discovery of one today could rewrite auction records. Collectors and historians alike see the 2000D as a bridge between modern minting technology and classic American coin artistry. It reflects precision engineering while honoring a figure from a nation's formative years. That dual appeal, technological marvel and historical tribute, is why it continues to hold the imagination of numismatists worldwide. The market for these coins remains strong, especially for rare varieties. Every year, stories surface of lucky finders selling theirs for staggering amounts. The lesson is simple. Never dismiss a coin just because it's modern or a little dirty. Its true value might be hidden in the tiniest details. The strike, the alignment, the finish, or an imperceptible minting anomaly. In today's fast-paced market, rare coins can appreciate rapidly, especially when a high-profile sale sets a new benchmark. A coin that might sell for $50,000 today could be worth double in a few short years. That's why some collectors treat these coins not just as hobbies, but as investments, portable, tangible wealth that carries both monetary and historical weight. If you happen to own a 2000D Sacagawea dollar, even in worn or dirty condition, think twice before spending it. It's not just loose change. It's a piece of American history with the power to alter your financial destiny overnight. In the right circumstances, with the right buyer, and if the right rarity is hiding beneath its surface, it could transform from a humble coin to a ticket to unimaginable fortune. Next up, the 1944 no-mint mark copper wheat penny from the United States of America. This coin, often dismissed by the untrained eye as just another old penny, hides an extraordinary story that could transform an ordinary person into an overnight millionaire. Its allure is not just in its age or design, but in the rare combination of historical significance, minting quirks, and the way it has survived the passage of time in pristine or near-pristine condition. For those lucky enough to stumble across one, especially in exceptional quality, it is like finding a key to unimaginable fortune resting quietly in your pocket or tucked away in a forgotten jar. The year 1944 was a time of transition for U.S. coinage. Just a year prior, in 1943, the U.S. Mint had switched from copper to steel cents to conserve copper for wartime use in World War II. By 1944, the familiar copper composition returned, but with a twist. Most 1944 pennies were made from recycled shell casings from the war effort. The no-mint mark version was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and while millions were produced, only a tiny fraction exists in perfect, gem-like condition. Even rarer are the flawless red examples, whose original copper luster remains untouched by the decades. Those are the coins that can fetch jaw-dropping prices. What makes the 1944 no-mint mark penny especially thrilling for collectors is its link to a pivotal moment in history. Imagine holding in your hand a piece of metal that once could have been part of a wartime ammunition shell, now transformed into a humble cent used in post-war America. Each coin carries the invisible fingerprints of an era defined by resilience and change. This connection to a world-shaping event elevates it from being just currency to being a historical artifact. It is not simply a penny. It is a time capsule, a tangible reminder of America's journey through one of its most challenging periods. Another reason this coin can command an astronomical price is the demand among elite collectors. Serious numismatists, the passionate, deep-pocketed individuals who collect rare coins, are always in search of the best of the best. For them, owning the highest grade example of a historically important coin is worth paying hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. The 1944 copper penny in Kaler condition, meaning nearly untouched, unblemished, and with brilliant original luster, sits near the top of this hierarchy. Such coins may appear at prestigious auctions only once in a generation, sparking bidding wars that escalate beyond ordinary comprehension. The power of this penny to change a life comes from this intense collector competition. If your coin is in immaculate shape, You could find yourself in the position of a seller with something that the wealthiest buyers desperately want. It is not unusual for the price to climb beyond $1 million for a flawless example, especially if it carries a perfect grade from a respected grading service. And because the coin is tied to both history and rarity, it is not just valuable now. It will likely appreciate in value as time marches on. Many unsuspecting people have walked past fortune without realizing it. These coins can sit in family coin jars, tucked away in attics, or be handed down from a grandparent without anyone recognizing their true worth. The 1944 wheat penny, without a mint mark in such rare condition, is one of those treasures that could be hiding in plain sight. Stories circulate of individuals discovering one in pocket change or inside an inherited collection and selling it for life-changing sums. These are not fairy tales. They are real, documented cases that add to the mythic aura of this humble copper disc. The design itself adds to its charm. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait gazes steadily outward, a reminder of enduring leadership and national unity. On the reverse, the simple yet iconic wheat ears flank the words 1 cent and United States of America, a gnawed agricultural heritage and the backbone of the nation's economy in earlier times. This straightforward beauty stands in contrast to its staggering market value, making the coin a paradox, visually modest, yet economically mighty. Part of what makes this coin story so magnetic is that it is not just for elite collectors. It is a dream within reach for ordinary people who happen to encounter it. Unlike some rare coins that were deliberately struck in tiny numbers for collectors, this penny was intended for everyday circulation. Its rarity today comes from the survival of perfect examples against the odds of wear, corrosion, and mishandling. This means that anyone, anywhere, could unknowingly possess one of these treasures. For those who do own one, caution is key. The temptation to sell quickly can lead to underselling to dealers or buyers who recognize its worth but aim to acquire it cheaply. To avoid losing out on its true potential, a coin like this should be authenticated, graded, and sold through reputable auction houses where competitive bidding can reveal its full market value. It is not an exaggeration to say that patience and knowledge could be the difference between a modest payday and an overnight fortune. The mystique of the 1944 no-mint mark copper wheat penny in Kaler condition is not fading. It is growing. Each time one appears in a public sale and smashes records, the legend spreads further, fueling the hunt for more. Coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious amateurs are all drawn to the idea that something so small could hold so much value. It is a reminder that great treasures often come in unassuming packages. In truth, this coin is more than a collector's item. It is a symbol of possibility. Its journey from a wartime shell casing to a gleaming piece of history mirrors the transformation that can occur in someone's life upon discovering it. Just as a raw metal was repurposed into something enduring and beautiful, so too can an unexpected find reshape a person's future. So, if you ever come across a 1944 no-mint mark copper wheat penny in remarkable condition, hold it carefully. You are not just holding a coin. You are holding history, art, and the potential for an extraordinary leap in fortune. This small piece of copper could be the bridge between ordinary life and unimaginable wealth, a bridge that only reveals itself to those who recognize what they are before it slips back into the stream of forgotten change. Next up, the story of the 1990 mint mark silver dime is one wrapped in both mystery and fascination, a quiet legend whispered among seasoned coin collectors and ambitious treasure hunters. At first glance, it may appear to be an ordinary dime, small, unassuming, and easy to overlook in the palm of your hand. But history has taught us that the most valuable treasures are often disguised in the simplest forms. The allure of this coin lies not just in its metallic composition, but in the rare conditions, errors, and minting circumstances that have made it one of the most coveted pieces in numismatic history. If you have one in pristine Kaler, brilliant and uncirculated condition, you may very well be holding the key to an overnight fortune. To understand its value, we must travel back to 1990, when the Denver Mint, one of the most important coin production facilities in the United States, was striking millions of dimes for circulation. In those busy halls, amidst the roar of machinery and the precision of presses, a small number of extraordinary dimes emerged. Some were struck with unusual clarity, a sharpness of detail so perfect it seemed almost artistic. Others bore subtle errors, minting quirks that collectors now prize far beyond the face value. And then there were those struck in silver, a rarity in an era dominated by copper-nickel-clad coins. These silver specimens, accidental or intentional, have since become the stuff of legends. The 1990D silver dime's journey into history is also a story of survival. Most coins from that year were tossed into circulation, jingling through countless cash registers, vending machines, and pockets until they wore down anonymity. But a few kept safe, untouched, untarnished, and gleaming in their original brilliance, became time capsules of American minting heritage. In Kaler condition, every detail shines. The profile of Roosevelt, the precise lettering, the torch and olive branch on the reverse, all immaculate, as if frozen in time. Why, you may ask, would such a coin command millions today? The answer lies in a perfect storm of rarity, historical intrigue, and collector demand. Coins like this are not simply bits of metal. They are artifacts. They tell the story of an era, of minting practices, and of unexpected anomalies that slip through the watchful eyes of inspectors. The 1990D silver dime is both a conversation piece and a financial asset, with its mystique increasing year after year as more collectors join the hunt and fewer examples remain available. Collectors understand the emotional power of a find like this. Imagine sorting through an old coin jar in your home, perhaps one passed down from a relative, and suddenly spotting that distinctive Denver Mint mark, the small D, paired with the unmistakable luster of a silver strike. Your heart races. Could it be? That moment of discovery has fueled countless hours of searching, garage sales sifting, and attic digging for decades. It is that thrill, the possibility that life could change in an instant, that drives the coin's almost mythical reputation. But beyond personal thrill, there's a cold financial reality. The demand for this coin in elite numismatic circles is staggering. Auction houses have seen heated bidding wars where wealthy collectors battle to secure even a single pristine example. Prices have climbed into territories once thought impossible for a modern-era dime. For some buyers, the coin is not just a collectible but a statement, a symbol of their ability to own a tangible piece of rare American minting history. Condition, of course, is everything. While even a circulated example might carry an impressive premium over face value, the coins that command life-changing sums are those untouched by the passage of time. A flawless 1990D silver dime, preserved in a protective case since the day it left the mint, is like holding lightning in a bottle. Every scratch avoided, every fingerprint prevented, multiplies its desirability and value. It's also important to understand the psychology of rarity. Humans are drawn to what they cannot easily obtain, and when the supply of a treasure is locked at an extremely low number, the price ceiling becomes almost limitless. The 1990D silver dime fits this formula perfectly. With so few known examples, each one becomes not just a coin, but a private trophy in the vast and competitive world of numismatics. There is also a deeper symbolic layer to the coin's appeal. Struck at the dawn of the final decade of the 20th century, it represents a bridge between old and new. The Roosevelt design, unchanged for decades, carries a nostalgia of post-war America, while the minting errors and silver strikes of 1990 hint at a fading era of traditional coin craftsmanship. For collectors, owning such a piece is akin to owning a fragment of a disappearing world. For the fortunate few who have stumbled upon this dime without knowing its true worth, the shock can be life-altering. Stories circulate in the collector community about individuals who sold one for mere pocket change, only to discover later that they had unknowingly let go of $1 million artifact. Such tales serve as cautionary reminders. Never underestimate a coin simply because it is small or because it looks familiar. And so, the 1990D silver dime continues to live in two worlds, the everyday realm of spare change and the rarefied air of high-stakes coin collecting. In one world, it's a 10-cent piece easily overlooked. In the other, it's a ticket to unimaginable wealth and prestige. If you possess such a coin in flawless condition, guard it with care, for it has the power to rewrite your financial destiny. The day you decide to part with it may very well be the day your fortune changes forever. The history of this coin is not just about metal and mint marks. It's about the romance of the hunt, the thrill of the unexpected, and the timeless truth that sometimes the smallest treasures hold the greatest power. That is the magic of the 1990 D silver dime, a tiny artifact with giant story, ready to turn an ordinary life into an extraordinary one overnight. Next up, the 2009 United States 1-cent coin with a D mint mark, struck in copper and in pristine Kayla condition, is one such treasure. At first glance, it may seem like any other penny you've ever held, but beneath its simple copper shine lies a story of historic significance and a potential value so staggering that it can turn an ordinary person into a millionaire, even a billionaire, overnight. To the untrained eye, it's just 1 cent, but in the hands of a collector who understands its worth, it's a ticket to unimaginable wealth. The year 2009 was no ordinary year for the U.S. Mint. It marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the iconic Lincoln cent first issued in 1909. To honor this historic milestone, the Mint released 4 special reverse designs, each illustrating a chapter of Lincoln's life: his humble log cabin birthplace, his formative years, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. The D Mint mark denotes that this coin was struck in Denver, adding an additional layer of collector appeal. But what elevates this coin into the realm of legend is not just its design. It is its composition and its flawless museum-quality preservation. By 2009, most U.S. pennies were made primarily of zinc with just a thin copper plating. However, a select few were struck in solid copper, reminiscent of the old pre-1982 cents. These copper strikes were never intended for mass circulation, making them extremely rare. Now imagine one of these copper rarities, produced at the Denver Mint, surviving in impeccable Kayla condition, a term reserved for coins that are so perfectly preserved they appear untouched since the moment they left the press. This is the numismatic equivalent of finding a flawless diamond in a sea of pebbles. For collectors, condition is everything. A coin's grade can make the difference between a modest price and a staggering fortune. A 2009 D copper cent in ordinary circulated condition might fetch a small premium, but in perfect, uncirculated Kayla condition, its value could skyrocket into the millions. Why? Because high-grade rarities are the crown jewels of any collection, and when one emerges, wealthy collectors and investors alike are willing to pay any price to secure it. The law of supply and demand works in overdrive in such cases. There may be thousands of eager buyers, but perhaps only 1 or 2 coins that meet this elite standard. The beauty of this coin is not merely in its monetary worth, but in the way it bridges the past and present. Its copper composition calls back to America's earlier coinage traditions, while its commemorative design celebrates one of the nation's greatest leaders. It carries both historical and artistic value, and when such elements align with extreme rarity, the result is a numismatic masterpiece. That's why stories of 2009 D copper cent selling for staggering sums don't surprise seasoned coin dealers. The demand for historically significant, rare condition coins never fades. There's also a psychological allure to such a coin. Imagine holding in your palm, knowing it could change your life forever. It's a thrill unlike any other. The realization that something so small, so seemingly ordinary, could carry the power to pay off debts by a mansion or fund generational wealth. Many who own such rarities never part with them, not because they don't want the money, but because they know they possess a piece of history that may never be seen again. In the coin market, timing can be as important as the coin itself. The value of a 2009 D copper cent in Kayla condition is not static. It can climb dramatically as awareness spreads, as wealthy collectors compete, and as more people realize just how few of these coins exist. Auctions can ignite bidding wars where pride and prestige matter as much as price. In such battles, the coin's final hammer price can leap far beyond its estimated value, turning already staggering sums into jaw-dropping records. The mystique surrounding coins like this also grows with each passing year. Every time one appears for sale, it makes headlines in the numismatic community. Every time a private collector whispers about having one, it fuels curiosity and speculation. And every time a new record price is set, it cements the coin's place among the most legendary U.S. cents in history. The 2009 D copper cent in Kayla condition is not just a commodity, it's a phenomenon. Holding such a coin is akin to possessing a secret key to wealth. Many people unknowingly pass over such treasures in pocket change or coin jars, never realizing what they have. That's why numismatists, coin experts, train their eyes to spot the minute differences, the telltale signs of rarity. A slight weight difference due to copper content, a crispness in detail hinting at uncirculated status, the subtle sparkle of a coin that's never seen a day in circulation. These are the clues that could turn a penny into a payday worth millions. And so, the legend of the 2009, the copper 1 cent in Kayla condition, continues to grow. It's a coin that represents the perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, and pristine preservation. It's a reminder that in the world of coins, value isn't measured by face value, but by the story, scarcity, and condition that make each piece unique. For the lucky few who hold one, it is a golden, or rather copper, ticket to a new life. If you ever come across a 2009 D1 cent coin and suspect it might be copper, treat it with the utmost care. Store it properly, have it authenticated by a reputable grading service, and never rush into selling it without understanding its full potential. Coins like this don't just come along every day, and once they're gone, they may never return to the market. In the grand tapestry of American coinage, the 2009 D copper cent in Kayla condition is a shimmering thread, rare, beautiful, and priceless. To some, it's just a penny. To others, it's history in metal form. But to the one who truly understands its worth, it's the kind of find that can turn an ordinary life into an extraordinary fortune overnight. Next up, the 2009 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent coin without a mint mark, struck in copper and carrying the weight of American history, is far more than a small piece of metal. It represents a bridge between the nation's humble beginnings and its modern identity, a miniature monument to one of the most revered presidents in U.S. history. Issued during the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, this coin was part of 4 design series, each honoring a different chapter of his life. But the version you're speaking of, copper composition, no mint mark, and in dark, age condition, holds a mystique that collectors whisper about. It's not just about rarity. It's about the story it tells and the passion it stirs in those who recognize its value. At first glance, someone might mistake it for an ordinary penny that has simply seen years of circulation. Yet, that is precisely what makes it dangerous for the untrained eye. You can hold a fortune in your hand and spend it without knowing. The absence of a mint mark instantly signals something unusual. Coins minted in Philadelphia often lack a mark, but in rare cases, specific batches of qualities that push their desirability into the stratosphere. Combine that with a copper composition, an intentional throwback to the early Lincoln cents, and you have a combination that breaks the mold of standard issue. What truly drives collectors wild is the historical layering embedded in this coin. In 2009, the U.S. Mint sought to honor Lincoln's 200th birthday not with one design, but with 4 distinct reverses capturing his life from Kentucky log cabin to the steps of the Capitol. This coin, in its copper form, whispers back to 1909, when Victor D. Brenner's original design first put Lincoln's face on U.S. currency. It's as if the Mint wove 100 years of American history into a single small disc, making a capsule of both numismatic and national pride. Then there's a condition factor, what you call darty, or darkened with age and circulation. To many, darkened coins seem undesirable, but for rare issues, the toning can increase mystique. In numismatic circles, original patina signals authenticity and can even attract higher bids from seasoned collectors who appreciate untouched surfaces. It tells them this coin has lived a life, passing through countless hands while remaining a rare survivor of its kind. Market demand for such a coin is not speculative hype. It's grounded in scarcity. The vast majority of 2009 Lincoln cents were struck in zinc-coated steel with a copper plating, not in solid copper. Solid copper strikes, especially in circulation strike form without a mint mark, were issued in small quantities or as special sets, making genuine examples scarce in the wild. This is why stories circulate of an unsuspecting person finding one in a change jar and later discovering it was worth thousands or potentially millions, depending on the specific strike and grade. The emotional magnetism of this coin cannot be overstated. Lincoln himself was a symbol of humble beginnings, resilience, and transformative leadership. Owning a coin that links directly to his bicentennial, especially one that deviates from mass production norms, feels like holding a piece of his legacy. Collectors are not just buying metal. They are buying a story they can pass down, an artifact that says, I own a part of history. In high-grade examples, or with certain striking anomalies, auction houses have seen Lincoln bicentennial cents command breathtaking sums. Now imagine coupling that with confirmed solid copper composition, absence of mint mark, and the sort of die variety or striking error that makes professional graders take notice. You're not just talking about a high-value coin. You're talking about the kind of discovery that turns a private citizen into a millionaire overnight. But here's the critical warning. Coins like this can be easily undersold. Without proper grading and authentication by a recognized body, such as PCGS or NGC, you risk selling it for a fraction of its true worth. Many people have unknowingly let treasures slip away for face value because they lack the knowledge or patience to get appraised. This coin's potential demands that you proceed with caution and confidence. Collectors in the know will tell you, the coin's journey to auction is just as important as its rarity. Having photographic documentation, professional certification, and even a little public buzz can turn a strong sale into a record-breaking one. Once authenticated, serious buyers will emerge, not just in the United States, but from around the world, eager to claim such a historic anomaly. It's also worth noting that darkened copper coins sometimes reveal hidden details under careful examination, die cracks, double dies, or even off-center strikes that further enhance value. In rare instances, such features can catapult the coin into a category where museums or institutional collections get involved, making private ownership even more prestigious. So, while it may seem like just another penny, the 2009 no mint mark copper Lincoln cent in age condition is a sleeping giant in the world of numismatics. Its blend of historic significance, composition rarity, and condition intrigue makes it a lightning rod for collectors with deep pockets. If it's in your possession, you're holding more than currency. You're holding a once-in-a-lifetime ticket to unimaginable wealth. In short, this is not a coin you spend on a candy bar. This is a coin you secure, protect, authenticate, and introduce to the right audience. Because when history, rarity, and market demand align, even the smallest piece of copper can change your destiny overnight. And this coin, above all, has that power.